love like the October surprise is that it's a coin flip and one of the presidential candidates just casually says he'll do the Japanese internment camp act again and no one cares. It's great. Do we just run with that? Here, hold on. Why not? Let's just run with that. We've got more Trump material to look at today because, you know, he's probably going to be our next president, so we have to get used to that while we can. You know, we have to soften the blow.
Let's remember, you've got 50,000 Chinese nationals in this country in the last couple of years. Yeah. You have people on the terrorist watch list, 350 in the last couple of years. You got, like you said, 13,000 murderers and 15,000 rapists. Right. What are you expecting? Joe Biden said he doesn't think it's going to be a peaceful election day.
Well, he doesn't have any idea what's happening in all fairness. He spends most of his day sleeping. I think the bigger problem is the enemy from within. Not even the people that have come in and destroying our country. By the way, totally destroying our country. The towns, the villages, they're being inundated. But I don't think they're the problem in terms of election day. I think the bigger problem are the people from within. We have some very bad people. We have some sick people, radical left lunatics. And I think they're and it should be very easily handled by, if necessary, by National Guard, or if really necessary, by the military. Because
if you're wondering how it's going, it's like, what, you know, years and years of practice of parsing dog whistles and implication, and then he just straightforwardly says, yeah, the immigrants that I've been fear-mongering about, they're bad, don't get me wrong, but they're nothing compared to the nefarious enemy within, which I will, if necessary, deploy the military against. They want you dead? Well, yeah, I mean, that goes without saying. First they come for the communists, as it ever was. Again, like, it's in my position, like, what do I say here? You know, put it up for the react. Yo, did Donald Trump just threaten to use the military against domestic enemies to secure his transition to power? Like, it's like, I mean, yeah. Trump is looking rather orange today. Can I be honest with you guys? I'm gonna be a little cranky. I'm gonna be a little old man. I hate you. What is it? We're like watching a guy, maybe you're in like Iceland or something, so you're insulated a little bit from this, but he's literally like, I'll kill you. And there are people in chat doing like Trump memes. Like, how can you focus on that? I'm not kidding. Like, I'm not trying to be glib or I don't know, overly curmudgeonly with this. It's like, you have to focus a little bit. I swear to God, like, we could be watching Adolf Hitler live in 39, and you guys would be like, yo, that mustache looks dumb. What the f are you talking about, bro? You're in a train car right now. You're being led to a camp. It's literally been 10 years of Orange Man meme. It's boring! Take your shit back to 2016. It's not been funny. It's cope humor? Maybe it is cope humor. I think you guys need to reckon with this, though. It's gotten pretty bad. The media is almost fully complicit in allowing this to happen. Every, like, right-leaning institution at this point is sharpening their knives and loading up their Zyklon B canisters, you know? And media that is not on the partisan left, I mean media that is supposed to be impartial or is, you know, has a pretense of impartiality, they are effectively ignoring this. Like, they don't care. No one cares. Well, we're not allowed to Fed post. Yeah, you're gonna have to thread the needle. I feel like it would help if you showed people what an actual Hitler rally looked like. I hate you. Shut up. I'm not even engaging with you. Just shut up. How scared should I be as a legal Puerto Rican? Stop asking me questions. Is that the same jacket as yesterday? No, it's not the same color or fabric. It is, however, also a military overshirt. So you are, at least in style, correct. What is the point of view, streamer? Emotional catharsis for people on their way to the camps. What do you want from me? I'm in the same country as you. I fully agree with you on the concerns and threats of a second Trump amendment, what would look like, but I fully believe the polls are 2022 wrong. That would be nice to believe, but that doesn't spare us from the fact that if that's the case, that still leaves us with one half of the political bloc in this country and the media who are fully, like, ready for the death camps, you know? That doesn't change the dynamic. The media wants Trump-level news cycles. No, the media doesn't want news. They don't care about that. The media, the media is run by the wealthy. The wealthy want you dead because capitalism in crisis is fascism. It's not like the boys up at CNN are like, oh no, the ratings. We have to let democracy crumble for the ratings. They're doing it because wealthy people hate you and they want you dead. It's class interest. It's not just like cutthroat showmanship. Very different levels of abstraction, McBeardy, but one of them is like a class interest kind of thing. I don't like...
From China. I don't think they liked me, but actually I like them. And we actually had a very good relationship, President Xi and myself. Somebody said, what kind of a man is he? He's a fierce person. He is. He's a very smart guy. I hate to say brilliant because every time I call him brilliant, the press says, he said the president, well, he is a brilliant guy. Got 1.4 billion people. He rules it with an iron fist. And the press gets upset when I say he's a smart man. I would think he's a smart man, but actually, he's somebody that we can't. The worst people are the enemies from within, from China. I don't think they...
He's really been doing the enemies from within rhetoric a lot, which, by the way, is so, like, it's so on the nose too, because enemies from within is like, in like terminology wise, almost a historical anachronism, right? Like normally I think a person like Trump would say something like the radical left or the Democrats or something. Enemies from within is almost like an older coded phrase. It's vague enough that it allows you to hit on a bunch of points, and it's kind of like, I mean, it's a little bit exactly what Hitler would say. Right, it's like almost academic fascism, where you're not only gesturing through adjacency at the right point, instead you're like just directly saying the thing they would say to euphemize. Enemies from within is literally Hitler verbatim. Yeah, it's not good. Might literally be like the exact same words. Pardon me, I'm not a Hitler scholar. Literally a McCarthy thing. Well, as we know, McCarthy was Hitler. I'm saying without exaggeration, like fully 100%. McCarthy got loud after the war ended because if he had gotten loud before the war ended, he would have been arrested for sympathizing with the enemy. There's no ambiguity. I'm saying this without actually knowing what McCarthy was up to during World War II, but I can say with great confidence, like, he was Hitler. It's fine, but I can say this. McCarthy hung around with a lot of sussy people. Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. It feels like a simplified version of fascist propaganda my high school history teacher would give us in class. Yeah, it's the enemies from within bit. Sounds like something you would use in a game or a movie to gesture at a person being a fascist without having to get into the rigmarole of adopting and explaining the specific language that you would use in whatever like historical period or fantasy like period you're in or whatever. It's like, let's gesture at the iconography of fascism as plainly as possible without having to get into the specifics. Enemy from within, Jesus. And he'd use the military too. I mean... We need an American demagaification. I mean, we need Reconstruction again, and I'm not kidding. Do you think the military would actually follow through with Trump plans? I want to say no, because I think that for the most part, the Pentagon is still run by, like, stiff-collared, like, prim and proper West Point, you know, like, neoliberal types who are more concerned with America as an institution and the Constitution than they are with Trump himself. But I really don't want the future of this country to hinge on my hope that the Pentagon would disobey the president if it came down to it. That is not, like, the coin flip I want to hinge everything on, you know? That's a little bit too close for my taste. Almost might end up seeing a military coup. I mean, if Trump wins, a military coup would probably be the good outcome. Better, like a military junta controlled by the Pentagon than people who are, like, openly, unambiguously fascist. Like, that's unironically, like, a better option, you know? At the very least, like, a military junta would come down as more flatly dictatorial than dictatorial plus death camps. Like, that's just, like, hard utilitarian reality right there. That's just, you know, you crunch the numbers and it's which evil would you rather have. It's lesser evilism all over again, folks. The better of the two evils is first the Democrats and then the military junta, just as Uncle Sam would have wanted. Yeah. I mean, it would be treason if the Pentagon did not obey. Not necessarily. Pentagon swears an oath to the Constitution. If the Pentagon makes a solid case for the idea that their orders are unconstitutional, they would have a legal, moral, social pretext for defying the will of the presidency. But again, we're kind of hinging all of this on unprecedented, you know. That being said, it would be naive of us to believe that with everything the Republicans are doing to steal the election, they haven't already made plans in the Pentagon, right? Like, let's not be dumb here. You know they're fussing around back there, right? Making deals. There's no way they'd be doing all this work on the county level, the state elector, groups, in Congress, everything. And then they're like, no, we'll leave the Pentagon alone. We're not gonna talk to the generals or make any plans with them. It's not good. The DOD officially condemned January 6th. Yeah, and that was great and all. We'll see if it pans out again. Joint Chiefs stress service members' commitment to Constitution. Yeah, I mean, keep rolling those dice. I'm still pretty confident in a Kamala win. That's good. And it could happen. I'm not predicting the future or nothing. Though even if Kamala does win, that doesn't stop the Republicans from taking their shot. And even if they fail in taking their shot, that doesn't change the fact that they're just going to do it again next election. They might not have Trump, but the capital class isn't just going to sit on its hand. Like, they didn't come this far and then they're like, oh, well, that was our shot. They're going to keep trying as long as, and they're going to keep buying and buying. Peter Thiel, Elon Musk, they're going to keep buying up social media companies, buying internet real estate, buying local news corporations, buying global news. It doesn't matter. They're going to keep buying and buying and buying. Their money infiltrating more and more and more and more of the systems that people use to get their news. More and more private censorship of news to make sure you get the MAGA version, but not the, real version. And the numbers are going to shift more and more. And this culture war is never going to end. It can go on forever. I mean, you think it's bad now, but it's only as bad as the media allows it to be. And the media could be worse than it is now. But Elon will be f***ed if Trump loses? No, he won't. When has a man that wealthy ever gone to jail? Bernie Madoff? Slap on the wrist. Also, not that wealthy. No one's been that wealthy. It only ever happens if the victims are equally rich. Yeah, that's the thing with Madoff, right? It's like, you collapse the economy. Okay. Elon Musk, it's like, what's the crime? Oh, you tried to end democracy? Well, democracy is more of a poor people thing, let's be fair. If you're wealthy, you don't need a democracy to influence the direction the country goes in. Feel like Elon ignores his lawyers too much to competently stay out of jail? Trump is worth 1/200th of what Elon is worth, and he has been making bad legal moves for a decade now, and it has not gotten him in jail. It does not matter. What about Epstein? Again, victims are wealthy people. Epstein got let off before. He probably would have gotten let off again had he not been killed. Or killed himself. Whatever.